We have 212 students right now. So we'll start the session. Hi, Caroline. Welcome to Zolve. We are really excited to have you. We have chatted before, but just for another 150 student that has joined us, would you like to introduce yourself once? Tell us something about yourself. I mean, you look really interesting to me, but so we would like to know more about you.
Good morning, everyone. For me, good evening for you. I am delighted to be here and just amazed at how many people have joined us. This is fantastic. My name is Caroline Emberger. As a Foreign Service Officer for close to 16 years, I served all my time in consular affairs. I have a great love for consular work, for visas. I have interviewed tens to thousands of people. I've covered every visa category there is, worked all over the world. I've also trained a large number of officers, during my time and my career. And today I'm here to help all of you. As you can hear my accent, I did want to mention that I'm Scottish. I was born in Scotland. So I actually emigrated to the United States too. So I have that unique dual ability to know how it was to emigrate to the US. And also I became a consular officer for the United States government. I'm a dual citizen, so I became consular officer. So bear with me, everybody. I am really bad with losing my PowerPoints. So I do hope you'll all
I'm there
forgive
to
me.
help you.
I'm going to put this to full screen,
Sure.
and
I will just
Manshi,
stop sharing.
I do want to mention that my colleague from Udeti, Aishwarya, is here to try and make sure I really don't mess up and lose the PowerPoint. But just to mention, we have a wonderful team at Udeti Visa. I've been with this team now for about 6 months, 7 months. And we have one of our team members who is just making sure I don't do anything. I don't lose anything or do anything wrong. So I'm going to try and share this full screen. So everybody keep your fingers crossed.
Really excited.
Okay, overcoming US visa denials. 232 people we have on right now, participants. I'm sure somebody's been denied in the group that we have. So I'm going to go through the PowerPoint, and Manshi is then going to call for a couple of volunteers, I believe, for a mock interview. So let's talk about overcoming US visa denials. This is a little guide that we've put together at Udeti to try and help you see some of the issues that you may have encountered if you've had your interview, or if you're getting ready to go for your interview, then this will also be really beneficial to you. You know, when you go for an interview, a visa interview, you invest, a lot of time preparing. There's financial cost to it. You don't have to pay if you have to travel there. You have to pay for your fees, your visa fees. So with it comes a lot of expense. And each denial is recorded. When officers interview you, you'll see that they kind of are turned to the side making notes. So there are remarks that the officer's making based on the answers you're giving the officer. So I know, Udeti team know, there's a lot that you invest when you apply for your visa. So we're here to try and help you either overcome the last denial or not get a denial at all. So understanding your denial. Generic refusal notice. You get a 214B letter, which really says nothing. But visa officers, VO means visa officers, guys. Visa officers don't really need to disclose the exact reason. They are not duty bound to tell you what the reason is. Some officers may give you some information, but usually they do not have to. When you have your interview and you go back home and you think, why did I get denied? They only asked me 2 questions and I was denied. You really have to reflect on what your responses were to that officer. Document interview. When you're having your interview, you'll have questions that the officer will ask. For instance, why do you want to study at Texas State University? Why did you pick this particular program? How many schools did you apply to? Who's going to be financially responsible for your tuition and living expenses? So there's a lot of questions, that will be asked of you. Identifying weaknesses. This is some of the things that we as visa officers really look at when you're in front of the window at the interview. Ties or future plans, insufficient answers for plans after graduation or ties. Officers are going to ask you, what's your plans when you graduate? And they want to hear you have a plan. Now, plans change, but what's your plan for that moment? You have to be very articulate and concise to the officer about what you will do when you do graduate from the degree. They're also going to look at your ties to your home country. Are you going back to a job? Are you going back to university to be a professor? Are you, your family ties, your home ties? So they're looking at the whole picture because an F1 is a non-immigrant visa, and it is expected that you will return to your home country. Inconsistency, contradictory answers or documents. You fill in a DS-160. The officer will pull up the DS-160 when you get to the window. The officer does not see your DS-160 before then. So the officer, when they're asking questions, are also checking your DS-160 to make sure that your answers jive. That's on your DS-160, to the questions and to your answers. So everything has to connect. The dots all have to connect for the officer. Purpose of clarity, unclear reason for selecting the school or program. Straight out, why do you want to study at XYZ university? The officer is expecting a solid answer, not half a sentence, 10 very unclear words. They want absolute clear answer of why you've selected this school. Financial status. You need to be able to explain your financial support. Who's going to, parents, guardian, sponsors, yourself, if you're an older student. Demonstrating strong ties, very important. Employment or education, good current or past employment, relevant educational background. And, also in here, the officer is looking for, maybe you've done internships, maybe you've done volunteer work. If that's, if it's connected to your field of study, that's important also that you should mention. So again, if you've just graduated from school, you may not have a past employment, but you do have a relevant background, you've got grades, and the officer is going to examine those. Always remember to bring your original transcripts if you can. Family, close relatives in your home country, mom, dad, siblings, aunt, uncle. Many people, who are only child think that's a really hard, big tie. It is to a certain extent, but you have to display other close ties to your home country. Property, home ownership, or significant assets of the family, spouse, or self. If you own properties, if you own buildings, that's not tangible for the financial resources for tuition and living expenses when you're in the US, but it is important for ties to your home country. Addressing what has changed. So you've been refused a visa. I wish no one was refused a visa, but it happens. So officers are going to ask you the question, what's changed from your last application? So they want to know if you've come back within a week, that's going to be a hard thing to clarify, what's changed since you were here last week. But with most of the wait times at the moment, that's not going to happen. But, they're going to ask you, if there's changes from when you last applied, detail a new job, finances, academic plans, you've done volunteer work, you've interned somewhere, you've gotten a scholarship where you didn't have a scholarship the last time you applied. These are all changes. if you can, show some growth. Demonstrate steps taken since your last refusal. For instance, have you taken online English classes to help your communication? There could be many things that you could show as a difference from your last interview. Improving interview skills. Practice your delivery. When I work with my clients, I say to them, record yourself. There's nothing better than recording yourself to hear how you answer. And so many have said to me, Caroline, I listened to myself. Now I really know why I was refused. I tell them, look in the mirror, keep eye contact, but listen to yourself answer the questions. There is no better training tool. Prepare clear responses. Craft concise answers about your program choice and future plans. I wish I could make that flash in red right now. That is so important. That first question you answer, why do you want to attend XYZ University? It's going to set the tone for the rest of your interview. So concise answers about the program, the curriculum, and how this feeds into your future goals. Address previous weaknesses. Officer, I wasn't able to articulate myself very well in my previous, and I wanted to now talk, more in depth about the curriculum. So many blogs that, I don't read the blogs, but my clients tell me they are told, say short answers, don't say anything. Those, in this day and age, that's not going to get you your F1 visa. Time management. It's a fast interview, guys. Everyone who's been there knows how fast it is. You're lucky if you get 3 minutes. Keep your answers concise, clear, and factual. If the officer asks you the question, you answer it clearly and concisely and focus on the key points. And if there's a silence there and you've given all your key points, don't start talking again. Something that's irrelevant is irrelevant to the question the officer asked you. Sometimes the officer just needs a couple of minutes to type, and then they'll ask their next question. Common mistakes, vague answers. I think I've mentioned that a few times now, so sorry about that. One-word responses don't build your case. Half a sentence doesn't build your case. And if you know nothing about your school and the curriculum that you're going to be covering, the officer's going to know that immediately. So again, be very, very well briefed on your courses. I quite often will say to somebody when I was interviewing at the windows, tell me, what do you think your favorite subject will be when you take your when in your curriculum? So just be ready for for questions like that. Repeating errors, the same approach yields the same results. If you went to the interview the first time, were denied, you know that the second interview, you've got to do things differently. You have to really dial down and think, how did I answer the last time? There's a secret. Record yourself. That will tell you a lot. Dishonesty. Don't hide things. Officers are very smart. We interview a lot of people. And we can see nervousness. And, most officers will make allowances for the nervousness. But hiding or embellishing facts, it damages your credibility. So be honest. When the officer asks you, what are your plans when you graduate? Be honest. And prepared, not addressing or understanding the officer's main concerns. Well, all of you that are here today, I know you want to be prepared. So I commend you and applaud you for listening to these webinars and listening to various visa officers who present so that you know what this officer is looking for. Timing your reapplication. Initial denial, understand refusal reasons. Udeti, we dig into, when we work with consults, we dig into why do we think you were refused? What was the reason for that refusal? And usually we are pretty quick when we ask questions on why you might have been refused. And then we work on the strategy so you're not refused again. Preparation phase, address weaknesses. Gather new evidence. We've talked about that in a previous slide. So address your weaknesses. Ready to reapply. When you have something new to show or are better prepared, that's when to apply, reapply. Be strategic. The second interview you have to overcome the previous interview. So please, please, please be prepared for your next interview. How Udeti helps you succeed. We don't just offer mock interviews. Sometimes somebody's not ready for a mock interview. We have to really dig deep with our clients to discover and articulate what your story is. Everyone has a unique story. I always say to my clients, we need to tell your story. That'll be reasonably understood by the consular officers. Officers are looking at you're a credible student, you have the financial resources, you have ties to your home country, you have a plan for when you graduate, and also if you've had a previous refusal, what's different from when you applied previously. Story crafting, we help you build a coherent, authentical story, which is your story and your journey from when you graduated to if you went to university in your country. We tie everything together to make it a coherent story that we can tell very quickly to the officer. Strength discovery, we uncover compelling qualities you might not recognize in yourself. Repetitive, repeating the same thing over and over. Not listening to the question the officer asks and answering incorrectly. So those are just a couple of the things that I've noticed repeatedly when I was on the windows as an officer. What's a red flag for one applicant might be a strength for you. We tailor advice to your situation. When I'm talking to my clients, sometimes I try and get the whole picture, and we all do this at Udeti. We try to find out your whole story because you may not know there's something in there. A couple of my clients always forget to tell me they have scholarships. That's a great thing. Or you were an intern for a doctor's office and you're going to do a medical degree, or you were a volunteer. So there's many things that we dig deep into to try and help you put together your strategy for your next visa appointment. Get expert help with your F1 visa, contact us. My colleague, Aishwarya, is going to drop a link in the chat before we finish today, because she also knows that I can't quite work out how to do that in the chat. So this is why she's here, to make sure we give you the information you need. Email hello@udetivisa.com. There's a special offer for promo code for Zolve 25 for 25% off all the services. This is a limited time offer, but we're getting into busy visa season now. And how to book, visit udetivisa.com directly or book through the Zolve app. And I know the wonderful people at Zolve have also told you, will also advise you on this. So that is the end of the PowerPoint. So I'm going to stop sharing. Hopefully this gave you some good information, and I hope I don't cut myself off right now.
All
No,
right.
I did not cut myself off. That's great.
All right. So yeah, I have just dropped a link for everyone to book a session if you want a session with Caroline, or if you want to book a session with our the officer at our previous webinar, EVAT, or any other officer at Udeti. You can just click on the link, and with Zolve, if you're applying through Zolve, like if you're applying through this link, you'll get an extra 25% off. So it's a great opportunity for all of you to book one-on-one session, spend 30 minutes, 60 minutes with this officer, understand the level of your preparedness, right? So that you have that one shot, you have that 1 minute with the visa officer, and you don't want to lose it, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and book the session. Before we jump into the mock interviews, we'll do quick 2 mock interviews. I'll request every one of you who is interested, who are ready with their to just raise your hand. I will randomly pick 2 people for the mock interview. Raise your hand, make sure your camera is on, make sure you have an audio, you're ready in 1 minute. I'll give you an access and promote you to the panelists so that you'll able to switch on your camera and you'll able to talk and everyone will be able to see you, right? But before we jump into it, I have a special, not surprise, but I have a special gift for all of you here that Zolve has, or for all of you. Just a second. Yeah. So, you know what happens when we go for the visa interview? We are so anxious that we make small mistakes, right? For example, you suppose you are standing for your visa interview, you're all prepared, and the visa officer asks for a small document, say, show me your DS-160, and you just don't want to spend minutes in searching for DS-160, right? Which is why we have this visa preparation kit or the Zolve folder for you, where we are giving you, this is a visa document organizer basically, where you can keep all your document at one place. It comes with a visa survival kit. Let me just show you the kit. So with the folder, you'll get this visa survival kit. Sorry, I was holding it bad. So in which you have several things, several surprises waiting for you. We have this planner, right? I don't know what is happening. Yeah. So yeah, we have this planner that has all the checklists that you need to have before your interview. We have cards, with questions, the frequently asked questions, and the tip and a sample answer that will help you prepare for your visa interview and also will help you for your last minute preparation. We also have a dollar bill. It's not actually a dollar bill. It's to tell you that Zolve is offering a scholarship of $50,000. You can scan the QR code and apply for the scholarship. We also have a surprise for you. Once your visa is approved, you can come back to this folder and open this, and you'll find out. And it has rewards worth $100. So I'll just put the link to apply for the folder in the chat box. Caroline, we have certain students who are ready to take up the mock interview, right? So we'll start with Godfred. Godfred, if you can switch on your cameras so that we can see you and start the mock interview.
Hi, Godfred. I think you're still muted.
Okay, Komal, are you there? If you're there, just switch on your camera and
Yes, ma'am. Just a moment. Am I audible to you?
you are audible to us, but we can't see you.
All right. Yeah, just a moment. Am I visible to you?
Guys, just to, to be very honest, just to save this time, we request you all to be ready, please, because we just have 1 hour with the officer and we want to make the most out of it, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, I
Komal.
understand.
Hi, Komal. How are you?
I am good, ma'am. How are you?
Good, thank you. Komal, tell me what university you've applied to. Just
I have
before I
applied to Northeastern University Boston campus for the Masters of Cell and Gene Therapies.
hold on a second, Komal. I just wanted to know which university it was. Let me ask you the first question now because I just wanted to know which one it was. Obviously, I haven't been pre-briefed on any of it. So tell me, why do you want to attend the Northwestern College?
To correct you, it's Northeastern University.
Sorry, Northeastern University.
Yes, yes. So, Northeastern University in specific, it was the course that attracted to me. The course aligns perfectly with what I aspire to study in future. I did my bachelor's in biotechnology and I want to specialize in this particular coursework, and this coursework provides me that. Especially, this course in this university is led by Dr. Sahar, who has done her PhD from Howard University, and her discoveries perfectly align with my interest in therapeutics biology. And that is why I am really keen to studying this from that university.
And who's going to be financially responsible for your tuition and your living expenses in the United States?
The primary funding will be provided by my parents with a total savings of around $20,000. Along with that, I have acquired a loan of $55,600 from Prodigy Finance. And I have also acquired a 5% tuition discount from the university. Along with that, I have certain movable and immovable assets which can be liquidated as and when needed.
Okay. And what's your plans after you graduate?
I want to come back to India and contribute to the healthcare sector of this country, as my main goal is to work with cancer patients. And this particular course helps me to learn about this topic more in depth. And I want to learn that concept from US and come back to India and contribute to the Indian therapeutic sector.
And Gomal, have you ever applied for a visa in the past?
No, ma'am, this is my first time.
Gomal, you did a really good job. Well done. Congratulations. You're very confident. I love the confidence and the eye contact. I was writing, so I'm sorry I wasn't looking at you all the time, so I apologize for that. You started off great, but I would have liked, as an officer, to hear a little bit more about the actual courses you're going to be taking. And,
Okay.
you know, what ones, you did mention what interests you, but
Yes.
I would have rather heard about the courses and the curriculum and how it fits into your overall goals of when you return home to India. I would use the time to talk about your curriculum and your goals more than I would talk about the professor. Officers really are not interested that much in the professor, and you've got a very short time for your interview. So I would have liked to have heard a little bit more about why you chose the curriculum, and did you apply to any other universities? You know, that would be my only, excuse me, suggestion on that. When you talked about the financing, you were great. You led off beautifully. My parents are going to be financing me, but you should add, my father works as XYZ. My mother is a XYZ. If your mum works, they have a joint income of 20,000. I also acquired a loan. So I would have, the officer's going to ask you about your parents. I would also be prepared with your bank statements so that you can offer them to the officer when you finish responding and say, officer, I brought my parents' bank statements for you to review. So there's a little tip there.
Okay.
You had a good goal to go back, but I'd just be a little bit tighter in saying, you know, when I get this degree, when I get my master's in XYZ, I plan to return to and work in the healthcare center in my home country. And just maybe elaborate a little bit more. Are you going to work in clinics? Are you going to hospitals? Are you going to a research center? So that would be my advice, Komal. But you did a really good job. So well done. And I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right, Komal, thank you so much. Before we choose the next candidate, I just want to ask you, Caroline, your dog hasn't barked yet.
It's a wonder you can't hear them snoring. They're sleeping.
Oh.
They're very lazy, my dogs. They don't like these 5 o'clock in the morning sessions.
You should not call them lazy. You should call them they're having the time of their life. They're chilling.
They're chilly. That's right. They're chilly. I
Right.
love that. I love it.
All right. Saransh will go ahead with you. Can you just switch on your camera?
Yeah. Hi. Hi, Mansi. Hi, officer.
Sarah,
Hello.
how are you today?
Doing good. How are you?
Before I start asking you the questions, tell me the university you're going to attend.
So I'm going to attend University of Minnesota
Beautiful.
at Minneapolis. Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me, why have you selected the University of Minnesota for your future studies?
I was interested to pursue a full-time MBA from top-notch universities in the world. I surfed through Google and found out top 50 universities and made on the filter based on the filters. I got admission in 4 universities. I chose University of Minnesota because of its comprehensive experiential learning program, full-time MBA program, where they are providing great in-depth knowledge for strategic management, financial management, which I think is appropriate for me to pursue from my long-term goals perspective. And over and above, among the 4 universities, I have got the best financial assistance from University of Minnesota. So that is an add-on reason why I chose.
Okay, and who's going to be financially responsible for your tuition and living expenses in the United States?
So the primary source of funding is my parents. So my parents are going to fund my living expenses as well as my tuition fees. And moreover, the financial assistance, which was nearly to 70%, which I got from the university, playing a vital role in it.
Yeah, what's your plans when you graduate?
Pardon?
What's your plans when you graduate from the University of Minnesota?
So once I graduate from the university, I am looking forward to work in big 4 consulting firms in India, as well as I'm also targeting the strategic consulting firms, McKinsey, Bain, BCG. They have a huge opportunities in India, and they are looking forward for the potential MBA candidates who have done a great uh, uh, courses from the top-notch universities. So yeah, I'm looking forward to come back to India and work in those industries.
Tell me about your family ties in India, in your home country.
I have got my parents here, so I am living with them only full, always since beginning, and in the long term also I'm planning to stay with them. I have my a lot of my extended family who is staying along with me. So yeah, in the long term I would like to stay close to them and parallelly work professionally also in India.
Hey, have you ever applied for a visa before?
No,
Sam?
officer, this is my first time.
So you did a good job and you were nice and confident. You didn't sound scripted. And I want to mention that you sounded natural, conversational, looking the officer in that. But you wasted a lot of time, Sarah, on your interview. Googling top-notch universities. That is irrelevant information. Be strong, Sarah. Lead off with, well, officer, I chose the University of Minnesota to take my master's in XYZ. I applied to 4 universities, including the University of Texas, Alabama. But I particularly chose this university for my degree because the curriculum offers me. What does the curriculum offer you? You've got to use your time wisely. Sarah, the officer honestly does not care about you Googling.
Okay, got it.
You just go straight in and give the answer of why you want to go to Minnesota. Again, if your parents are going to be supporting you, talk about what they do for jobs. You heard me with the previous person. Offer the bank statements. I have always looked at bank statements as an interviewing officer to make sure that you have the resources to do the course and the tuition. You can offer the resources. Consulting firms, you need to tighten up a little bit your answer on what you're going to do when you go back to India. You had a little bit of irrelevancy in there. Get a strong answer. Consulting firms, maybe name some of the firms, what you would like to do with them to gain the experience. On your family ties, you weren't expecting the question. Be ready for questions to talk about family ties. Officers use lots of different questions. That was just, I came directly out so that so everybody could hear. But you did a really good job, Sarah. So well done, and I wish you the best of luck with your interview.
Thanks, officer. Thank you.
Manshi, do you want me to answer questions or do another mock? What would you like me to do?
I think we have 15-20 minutes more. So we can take up questions so that we can cover more questions, right?
Yes.
Anmol, if you want to ask a question, please go ahead. I'll request every one of you to please keep it short. Stick to one questions each so that we can give a chance to everyone. We have more than 334 of you right now, right?
Ooh.
We want to give a chance to everyone. So yeah, stick
Yes,
to one question. Anmol, ahead.
yes, yes. Good morning, ma'am.
Hi, Amalpreet. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, thank you.
So officer, my question is that after completing my high school, I'm having 2 years of gap. So, like in that, I really wanted to be mature enough to study abroad and get that education. So, if the visa officer asks me and I answer them like this, that is it a negative point or something like that?
It's not a negative point, Amalpreet, it's how you explain it. The officer will see that you've had a gap and ask, what have you been doing since you graduated? If you've been doing volunteer work, whatever you've been doing, especially if it feeds into the degree you're going to pursue,
Yes,
then
ma'am.
then you would just tell the officer. That's not uncommon, but you have to have a good, credible answer, strong answer when the officer asks you the question.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Anmolpreet. Yeah, Jennifer, if you have a question, go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, please, hi Caroline.
Hi, Jennifer.
I wanted to ask, I'm an international student here in India. I just completed my undergraduate degree here. So I couldn't get the time to travel back to my home country to apply for the visa because I have to wait for my certificate and it's a lot. So I decided to apply my visa interview here. So I want to ask, what should I expect? How should I prepare? And what advice will you give me, like looking at my situation? I didn't go back home. Like, what should I expect? Yeah.
So if I'm correct, you did your degree not in India.
I did my degree here in India. I just
Okay.
graduated. Yeah.
So I didn't quite understand your question. Are you
Okay.
applying in
So
a different country or?
no, I've applied, I've been admitted to one of the universities in United States. So I applied for my interview here in India. So I wanted to ask what should I expect during the interview? And what advice will you give me looking at my situation? Like I didn't go back to my home country to apply there.
Okay, it's just any advice I would give anybody going for an interview is, be a credible student, be able to show your financial resources, have your plan for when you graduate, and just give solid answers. We had the PowerPoint, you heard the mock interviews and my suggestions to those individuals. So that's, I would just be prepared before you go in for the interview.
Okay. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Cool. I'll just quickly give access for you guys to ask a question directly. Sachin, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Caroline. Hi,
Hi, Sachin.
Manashi. Yeah, hope you're doing well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just have a question. It is related to transcripts. I have already couriered my transcripts to the university. So currently, I don't have the original copy, but I have the PDF which I have scanned it. So is that fine to carry the printouts of that transcripts for the interview?
I
Is
would
that
carry the transcripts, but I would ask the university if they can send you something that says they needed your original transcripts, so you can show that to the officer.
I didn't get you, Caroline. Sorry.
Sorry. I would contact the university and ask them just to send you an email or that you can show the officer that says that they requested the original transcripts from you.
Correct.
And that's why you're presenting the
Correct.
copies. So
Correct.
I would contact, there's always your point of contact at the university. They'll send you an email. Just carry the email. And when the officer asks you for the grades, you can say, I have the photocopies here. and an
Okay.
email from the University of XYZ that
Okay.
where it mentions that they asked me for my original transcripts, just to cover yourself, Sachin,
Correct.
because officers do like original transcripts normally.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough, Caroline. Fair enough. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sachin. Yeah, Sujit, please go ahead. Sujit.
Hi, Mansi. Hi, Caroline. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. My
My
question
pleasure.
is, yeah. So I was rejected in 2013 for B1, B2 visa. So that rejection started from the question. I mean, I guess it's the question because I didn't complete my CA at that time. I completed my CA inter. Then back recently, in 3 weeks before, when I went for F1 visa interview, uh, my visa was rejected again. This time, officer clearly asked, back in 2013, you mentioned you were doing CA. Did you complete? I said I didn't complete. So that was a reason for rejection. That's what I feel. Uh, so I just want to prepare if I go next time, what should be my answer to overcome this situation because this is my case. And last 10, 12 years, I was working with a corporate. So I don't have any gap.
Without knowing your case, and I don't have the ability to dig into it right now in the essence of time and fairness to everybody. But what I can say, if the officer asked you the question about why you didn't complete in 2013, you need to give a strong answer as to why you didn't complete, because that's quite. The officer would be looking at the remarks from 2013 from the previous officer who, at the time. So I would just make sure you're able to answer that question. And if you've been working in between then and this application, F1 application, I would just be sure, that you tell the officer what you've been doing, especially if it's connected to the degree you're going to be doing, and take your resume with you too. And you could also offer to show your resume to the officer.
Okay. Thanks, Karen.
I'm sorry I couldn't go more in depth with you, but this would take me much more than Mansi's going to allow me to talk. She's going to cut me off if I start digging.
We just respect your time. That's it. Yeah, Godfred has been spamming a lot. Yeah, Godfred, please go ahead and ask your question. We have given him a chance before. But yeah, go ahead, Godfred.
Please, can you hear me?
We can
Yes.
All right.
Sorry,
So,
Vincent.
hi, Caroline. So, I've been refused before, and I used my uncle as the one that will sponsor the education. But this time around, I have an assistantship, and my deficit is very small. It's 20,000, and I'm using my personal funds. So, in case they asked why I am no longer using my uncle, I want to answer that I work in a consultancy firm, finance and business development consultancy firm. We do gigs with World Bank, MasterCard, and all those ones. And because this deficit is small, I'm using my personal funds to fund it because I will be able to do that. The previous one, it was about 45,000, and it was more than the monies I've saved, and that's how come I use my uncles. I don't know if that response is credible. It's fine.
When did you apply for? When were you denied?
I was denied last year, December,
Okay.
and I didn't have a good scholarship. But with this one, it's the same program, but with a different school. But I have an assistantship, but my tuition and some stipends. But the deficit is still 20,000, which I have enough money in my account to be able to suffice for that. So I'm using my personal funds instead of using my uncle's.
Okay. So you're in a good position, really, because you just tell the officer, this is your story. It's when I talk about what's your story. Well, officer, what was different from December 2024 is I now obtained a scholarship. That's a big difference. Maybe you changed universities or colleges that you were going to, but I got a scholarship. I've been working, I've been saving. I'm more than able to give up the difference with using my savings and just offer the, the scholarship information and your bank statements to the officer. But that actually is a good difference to show from when you went for your interview in December, Godfrey.
Okay, please. Thank you so much. I really
My
appreciate it.
pleasure.
All right, we'll take a couple of more questions. Manav, you can go ahead for now.
Yeah, hello, ma'am. I gave my visa interview last month itself on 14th April. So I was refused under 214B, and I don't know the reason behind it, but I was asked two questions in Mumbai consulate. That was which school and why the school. So in which school I this school, I told like Pace University has a strong marketing analytics curriculum code like data mining using SAS and driving marketing research with professors like Pradeep Gopal Krishna, who is an expert in marketing research. And also I have received a scholarship of $5,000. And I also mentioned about the student clubs which were there in the Pace University. When I was mentioning about the student clubs, he just stopped me, and after 2-3 seconds, he gave my passport back. So
I heard things that if you think back to what we've discussed today through this time with Zolve, what strikes me is you told me nothing about the curriculum. You didn't tell me, why your degree ties into the curriculum, why you want to study, what your future goals is. If you remember back to somebody I spoke with here, I think on the mock, I said to them, you're wasting your time, in my opinion, talking about the professors. You talk about why you want to go to this school. So the thing is first answer, if I can tell every one of the 284 people that's on here, you've got to give a strong answer. The way you answer the first question, your response sets the tone for the rest of your interview. And that officer obviously did not believe you were credible with your first answer. So, practice, listen to yourself, record yourself, practice, and get a much stronger response and know the curriculum of your school where you can tie it into your future plans.
Like after mentioning the curriculum, I should mention like my future goals as well, right?
I'm going to stop at the one question because we promised another person, Manshi, if that's okay. You're more than welcome to reach out to us, but I'm going to move on because we did just say one question per person.
Yeah, sure.
So good luck.
Thank you.
One last question, Kola Sri Harish. Yeah. Go ahead.
Hi, Caroline ma'am, and hi, Manshi ma'am.
Hi, Kola.
Good evening. Hi, ma'am, and good morning to you, and good evening, you, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm going to Wichita State University, Kansas for this fall, August. So some are saying that the Wichita State University is getting rejected for some students. So I am a bit nervous, and this is my first time.
Okay.
And my bachelor course will be connected with my master's course. So
okay, I don't really understand your question for me.
Yeah, actually some are saying that you'll be get rejected if the university's rank is so low.
So he's asking his university's rank is low. So is there a higher chance for him to get rejected during his visa interview?
Okay, sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Manshi. Maybe I don't have enough coffee, everybody. I need more coffee. Not everybody can afford the high-ranking schools, and officers understand that. Wichita State University, I've approved plenty of visas to F1s when I was an officer to Wichita State University. It's how you answer the questions, Kola. It's how you prove to that officer you're credible. You deserve to go to that university. You have the financial resources. You have a plan for the future. All the things we taught, you deliver to that officer strong, credible information, then you'll be approved. It all depends on how you read the officer and how you answer the officer's questions. So, don't worry about that. Work on your responses to the officer and make sure you prove that you're a credible student that deserves to go to Wichita State University. And I wish you good luck, Kola.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for giving your experience for us.
Oh, my
And thank
pleasure.
you, Manshi ma'am, for giving me this chance to speak.
Thank you. This platform is just for you guys, right?
Yeah, it's a wonderful platform. So Manshi, we've had lots of wonderful people here, and my colleague Ashwire is going to drop a link into the chat to all of you so that you will have that there.
All right. So just one last thing before we wrap up the session. So thank you. Almost 400 of you were here throughout the session, and it's a great opportunity. It's like a reward that we get for the hard work that we put behind organizing all these sessions, right? It's very rewarding to see all of you. We would love to, we would love to hear from you after you have done your visa interviews. Text me on the WhatsApp group, right? You all have access to my WhatsApp number. Text me when you're here, because we are coming up with a series on our social media where we share your visa interview experiences so that other people get benefit from it. We also would like to hear what is the problem that you're facing during a visa interview, and how are you solving it. And we would request I would request you all to reach out to me if you want to record a video with us about your F1 visa interview experience, about the challenges that you're facing during F1 visa experience. And all of you who have claimed the free visa folder can also reach out to me if you have good things to say about it. If you want to record a video and a UGC video and share it with us, for which we would love to offer you an Amazon voucher of 500 rupees, INR 500. Um, so yeah, reach out to me. And for every one of you who is saying they're not able to access the visa folder, I would like to explain the steps to get the visa folder. So you have to download the app using the link that I have provided. Then once you download the app, sign up, right? Once you have logged in to the app, go to the stores. In the store section, you will see 3 banners in the top of the store page. So make sure you're a fall 2025 student, and so only then you will be able to see those banners, and only people from India will be able to see those banners. Once you click on the banner, they will ask you for some information like address, your I-20, right, to confirm that you're going to some university in US. And then after you put your address, you will see a confirmation screen on your app saying that thank you for applying for the visa folder. We will deliver it to you, right? I would repeat once again. Download the app, log in, go to stores, click on the visa folder banner on the top of the store page, click on it, add the details, and the visa folder will be delivered to you, right? That's all from my end, and I am so sorry that we couldn't take all of your queries. Imagine answering more than 400 queries in 1 hour. It's almost next to impossible, right? But for that, we have one more session coming up next Sunday. So make sure you have joined the WhatsApp group. I'll share the session link there, and make sure you all join. And yeah, we'll have fun next weekend as well, and we'll try to answer all of your questions. Thank you for spending the lovely 1 hour with us, Caroline. It was pleasure having you. It was pleasure listening to you, and it's really great that you spoke to all those students. I am sure they all have benefited a lot from this session. Thank you so much. We would love to hear any suggestions, that we would love to give and conclude the session with.
Everybody, you have lots of resources. You've got Zolve, you've got Udeti, but you've also got the videos that you can watch. All I can say is be authentic with the officer, answer their questions, know why you want to go to the university. And I wish you all the best of luck. It's been my pleasure. Zolve, thank you for having me. I've had a great time. I wish I could stay longer with you. I love doing these presentations and answering your questions, but now I have to go to work. But guys, the best of luck to everybody, and it's been my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much, Caroline, once again. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. See you again next Sunday. Bye-bye.